Hi friends, welcome back to Liz's Reading Corner, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Liz and I like books, and today we are doing my reading wrap up for April. I realize that I didn't do one for March. I don't think March was a very big reading month for me. I had a lot of assignments and assessments and just a lot of uni stuff going on, so I just didn't have time to make the video, and so I just decided that I just wasn't going to do a March video. We've officially finished April. I cannot believe that we are in May already. The year is almost half over, and that is just wild to me. But anyway, April was actually a surprisingly good reading month for me. I read 14 books, which totals 5,850 pages. A quick recap, my goal this year was to read 80 books, and I am currently at 46 books, so I'm 57% of the way through my reading goal. I've read 17,882 pages, so I'm 45% of the way through my reading goal for my pages. According to Storygraph, I am 4,549 pages ahead of where I should be and 19 books ahead of where I should be. I've been really lucky in that some of the books that I have read, so like for the number of books read, not so good for the pages, but the number of books read, I've read actually just a couple of really slim books, just like short stories basically. So that's kind of why I've read so many books this month. It's not that I would normally read 14 books in a month, I've just read a couple of like really slim books, that's all. This month I read mostly medium-ish sized books, so 50% of the books that I read were 300 to 499 pages. 29% of the books I read were 500 plus pages. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I read so many really big chunky books this month. And 21% were 300 pages or less. So I read 7 medium. The magpies have decided that they want to chime in apparently. I read 7 medium-sized books, 4 large books or chunky books as I call them, and 3 that were less than 300 pages. So I believe it was just 3 novellas I think that I read this month or in April. I read only fiction. Like I've said before, I don't tend to read non-fiction books when I'm reading. The only time that I read non-fiction books is for university or uni, because I'm not interested in non-fiction books really. I just only read fiction books. The top 3 categories that I read this month were, so fantasy was the most read, which I'm not surprised. Horror was second, and mystery was third. So I've only read 4 digital books this year, or ebooks. I only read 4 ebooks this month. I have noticed that I'm starting to read more ebooks than I would normally read, purely because I just get through them faster, and also when I'm at the gym, when I'm on the treadmill, I will read an ebook because it's boring on the treadmill otherwise, really. This month, my average star rating was 3.75 stars, which I think is actually the highest star rating I've had, and that would be because 4 of the books that I read this month were 5 stars. I'm actually going to do like favorite anyway. So that most of the books that I read this month though were 3 stars, which it was not. I feel like I say this a lot. It wasn't the worst reading month I had. It definitely wasn't the best. It's the best I've had this year, especially because I've read a couple of really, really good books. But the thing was, the books that I enjoyed, or the books that I thought were going to be 5 stars, didn't actually end up being 5 stars. I had a really huge disappointment this month. So I'll really quickly run through the books. So I read 14 books this month. I've read The Lost Bookshop, Empire of the Damned, which is the second book in the Empire of the Vampire series, The Taking of Annie Thorne. So The Gathering is CJ Tudor's newest book that she just released this month in April. That was phenomenal. If you enjoy CJ Tudor's books, I highly recommend reading that. I wanted to do a reading vlog on that, but it just kind of got away from me and I ended up actually binge reading it in one session. to Sword. I read the 3 Del Toro Quest series books. I read What Feasts at Night, which is book 2 in the Sworn Soldier series by T. Kingfisher. I had an arc that I got to read, so I read The Council of Ethesia by D.H. Hoskins. This is a high fantasy book. I might actually do a review of that. I really enjoyed that. That was actually a really good book. I read In Bitter Cold by Jason A. Jones. What was that? That's a novella. That's a horror story. Can you tell that I don't remember sometimes? The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Core. The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown, and House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, which is a part of a reading blog that is coming out very soon. My favorite book this month, I can't actually choose one favorite. I'm probably going to have to go for 2. My 2 favorite books this month were The Gathering by C.J. Tudor and The Book of Doors. Oh my gosh, this book. Oh my gosh. If you enjoyed reading Ink Blood Sister Scribe, this is so much better. This is just phenomenal. You'll see a reading vlog actually about it. I won't go into it too much because I could actually rave about this book. And my least favorite book, this was so disappointing, I'm not going to lie. My least favorite book was Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. I was so excited for this book, and if you haven't seen the reading vlog, I did a reading vlog on that. I know I went through them really quickly. I'm trying to, like I said, change my stuff or my videos to more like reading vlogs, so that way my monthly wrap-ups can just be like a really quick video at the end of the month, just going over everything that I've read, or if I haven't made a reading vlog about it, just to be like, hey, I read this book. And so yeah, this is kind of the style that I was wanting to change to, or the sort of video that I was trying to do for my reading wrap-ups, and just to highlight like books that I've enjoyed and books that I haven't enjoyed, or things that I found disappointing every month. If you've read these books, I absolutely would love to hear your opinion on them. If you have any suggestions, as always, feel free to let me know. If you enjoy what I do, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.